Welcome back to Fickle Sports and another Fantasy Premier League video. Just a reminder, in this video we're going to be going over the points we got last week, the changes we're making for next week, and our brand new stats calculated form selector, so you can see who the top 3 players are by position. Let's dive straight in and have a look at the points we got for last week. Gary, how did you do?
Well, I mean, will everyone turn off as soon as they see our scores from the previous game? I think maybe so.
We wouldn't blame them.
My team's up on screen now. As you can see, it was a bit of a mixed bag for me this week. I mean, I got the captain choice absolutely right based on my first 11. Went for Son Heung-min. He blitzed it within the first 2 minutes against West Ham, got another assist, so that doubled his points. Salah scored, and Robertson got an assist too for Liverpool. But I had players like Mitrovic, who I cursed for having too much timber. That affected him. He missed a penalty and he missed a golden chance as well. So he's really, really punishing me. And I mean, I have nothing else to comment for the rest of my team. It's woeful. It's woeful.
So how many points did you get?
I got 56 and the average was 60. So I'm down for this week. Well,
for me, I have to say that I can't slag off your 56. I got 53. I got 53. I had another. I say I had another. It was a calculated risk with De Bruyne. But do you know the last 3 weeks I've been trying to get rid of Pickford, but every time I've had an injury that I've had to swap out. Yeah. It won't let me get rid of him. I'm stuck with him. De Bruyne was my captain, but I knew he was 75% chance of playing at that point in time. So that's why I played it safe, and I had Mane in as my vice, who came through. He got a goal and his points were doubled.
Got a goal disallowed as well. That was painful, must have been. I mean, assist. An assist disallowed. That's the one, right?
Yeah. We're not gonna talk about that. I got a goal from Jimenez, and Fernandez also popped up with a few points. So, I mean, after last week, it's an improvement. But really, I want to be aiming very minimum and getting above that average. So I really need to sort this team out. But as I said earlier, 53 points, and really hoping to improve going forward into the new game week. So here it is. It is our stats-based form selector by position. It's where we put in all the wizardry stats and we come out with the 3 players who we think are currently at the top of their game, who you might want to consider putting into your team. First up is goalkeepers, and Gary, look who's top. It is your man.
The main man sitting right at the top of fantasy goalkeeper points. Emilio Martinez, another clean sheet. His XG 2.86 over the last 3 games. Only conceded 2. He does get a few saves. Bonus points from saves. 18 points. Look at that. And the streak could continue. It really could. They've got Leeds at home, Southampton at home, Arsenal away, which probably will end up keeping a clean sheet against us. That's how it goes. So yeah, he's the golden boy. Really is.
Yeah, I think he deserves to be there. And McCarthy just sneaking in there. That's probably more based off of the 2 clean sheets that he kept in the games prior to the Chelsea game. But it's also worth noting there that's quite a low expected goals conceded, to be fair. So I think fair play to him for sneaking into the top 3.
So on to defenders. Here are our top 3 targets. And you have the West Ham boys again, right at the top. They had a couple of clean sheets and they managed to get a couple of assists in the Tottenham game, which didn't really seem too likely. If I was going to pick someone, I'll probably pick Aaron Creswell. I think he's got, look at that, 27 points over the last 3 games. That's incredible. And he got 3 assists in the last 2 games, so he's right up there for me.
Do you know what? For me, actually, I'd probably pick Masuaka, only because he very much plays a left wing back, and Creswell is a bit more defensive, more like in a back 3. So Masuaku for me is the player I would actually pick. But yeah, the defence has been really good, West Ham, and I know they conceded 3 against Tottenham, but the actual XG against Tottenham was, I think, their XG conceded was below 2 goals, so their XG wasn't as bad as what the goals conceded suggests. And then finally you have Reguilon, who pops in for Spurs. I think that is more based off his expected assists than Tottenham's expected goals conceded, to be fair.
Yeah, but I will say that for Tottenham, they have quite a good run of games coming up. Tottenham, they've got Burnley away, Brighton at home, and West Brom at home away before it starts getting difficult with Man City and Chelsea in the horizon. So, if you want someone, Reguilon is quite a good pickup for the next 3 games.
So we move on to the midfielders, where we use their XG and XA to calculate who are the top 3 transfer targets. And there's not many surprises here, Gary, is there? Let's be honest.
No. James Rodriguez, they had a really tough game against Liverpool. He was still very dangerous, and he was still the midfielder that had the quality on the ball to get Everton breaking away for chances. But who would you pick out of that top 3?
I mean, my instant reaction is Mane, is what I want to say. But as you said, Rodriguez was pulling the strings against Liverpool. Jack Grealish played brilliantly against Leicester
He's a bit
City,
of a wizard right now, isn't he, Jack Grealish?
He is. Not as good as Mason Mount in a case like I'm gonna keep dropping that joke. So I think for me, out of those 3, I would base it more on who they're playing rather than I'd really struggle to pick out of those 3. Because yes, Mane is more of a goal threat, but you just can't ignore the XA of both Rodriguez and Grealish at the moment.
Yeah, I'd say Mane's XA. I mean, he got that offside assist as well, so that hurt him a little bit. And like with Liverpool, it doesn't matter who they face. The difficulty rating could be 5, and they'll still be producing the goods. Mane will still be scoring. So, if you go expensive, yeah, you won't regret it with Mane. Now, strikers, here are our top 3 for now. We've got Harry Kane, who's on still an absolute tear. He's dropping deep and providing all the assists for Son Heung-min and maybe Gareth Bale in the near future. Who would you pick there? They're all great selections.
Do you know what, right? And this might be because he's in my team.
Of course it is.
Now, Kane is the obvious one because he is getting the goals, he's getting the assists, but he's the expensive one. So what I would say is Kane's the obvious pick. I think you'll agree with that, right?
Yep, definitely.
Not everyone has money for that. So my second pick after that would be Calvert-Lewin, only because he scored 3 goals in a row. He scored 3 goals, in a row, and for the amount of money he costs, you can't really knock back that consistency.
No, definitely.
Just if he gets a goal every game, I'm happy with that for the amount he costs. So I'd put Calvert-Lewin for his, let's say, differential qualities.
Yeah, so Calvert-Lewin is 7 million. I don't know what he was at the beginning. It must have been 7. So he's going up pretty quickly in price. So you probably want to get him before he gets his value goes up even further. Ollie Watkins still, what a great snip as well. Like, he is doing the business for Aston Villa, but yeah, Harry Kane is still the obvious one for me.
Yeah, and I think what's also what is worth pointing out is the fact that Ollie Watkins has such a good XG, which means he is getting very good chances, and that's what's important. Sometimes when teams do well but they're not necessarily dominating the game, they don't get a lot of chances. Watkins is getting the chances, and when he gets the chances, he's scoring them. So that looks really good for Watkins.
I will touch on the fixtures for Everton. Everton's got Southampton away, Newcastle away, then Man United at home. But after that, they got Fulham away, Leeds at home, and Burnley away. So there's, mix and match. If you go with him long term, I think you'll be fine.
So I am bringing in Salah. For the 3rd week in a row, I've been forced into making a transfer because of an injured player. I've been trying to get rid of Pickford. I said this earlier. I want to get rid of Pickford, but you know what? Someone is punishing me for the fact I picked him in the first place. And 3 weeks in a row, I haven't been able to get rid of him. So De Bruyne, as you've seen, is injured. So I'm bringing in Salah.
Doubling up on the Liverpool boys.
I'm having it's either Salah or Son, and I went with Salah, even though on the face of it, Tottenham have easier fixtures. There is a question as to what game Son will start just with Europa League. I feel like Salah is a bit more of a guaranteed start in the Premier League, and he's on penalty duty, which Kane isn't. So that is the reason for my pick.
Now on to my team. As you can see, I went for the very expensive option that we said in our top transfer targets, and that is Harry Kane. Couldn't resist. Tottenham players usually curse me, but I've brought him in because that schedule, like, I can just see them racking up more points, Son and Harry Kane together.
You know what? I just want to take this moment because as soon as Kane plays bad, you're the first person to jump on and say how crappy it is. So I just want you to just in 5 words, just how good has he been, Gary? Just if you're gonna give him shit when he's bad. You know, I think last season you were saying he was overrated as he was getting fit. So I just want to hear, how good is he?
This
Gary?
is the compensation I need. If Tottenham do well, at least I've got them in my fantasy team, so it stops the pain and the hurt. So that's why I've had him. He's been, you know, performing slightly above average. That's all I'll say. And I've done something which I never do. Take a -4 hit, and I've got Zaha in for Mason Mount. Mason Mount, you are an absolute waste of space for now. And look, Crystal Palace have got Fulham away, Wolves away, Leeds at home, Burnley away, Newcastle at home, and West Brom away. So I'm really playing the fixture game, even though we know in this Premier League it is a silly game to play. So that is it for Fantasy Premier League for this week. Let us know what transfers you're putting in and how bad our transfers are to you. See you next week.
See you later.